You're listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hayner.
Hey guys, Charge Hayner at Zoom the TBT. And this is the one show I really had to have this cycle. I have Willie Kemp, the head coach at Whitehaven and former Memphis hire. Willie, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great. Glad to be here. Having an amazing day. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm real excited about this too, because as everybody who watches our show knows, I am a huge Memphis fan. I have my whole life. You can obviously see the logo on my shirt right now. And Willie Kemp is one of the hometown guys. He's from Bolivar, right outside Memphis. He's one of the guys we had to have on the Tigers. A stalwart on the 2808 finals team. Wonderful team. Great player, great complimentary part of those wonderful teams. And you're now kind of leading, kind of GM and coaching the Beale Street Boys. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I will be the head coach of Beale Street Boys this upcoming year in TBT.
Now let's talk a little bit. How did that come together? Because Memphis has a pretty interesting history in TBT. They've been Memphis State. They've also had a few other teams, the Bluff City Blues at one point, and had some high seeds that haven't quite come through with them. I know Will Coleman has been the GM of the team before. So how did this iteration of the Memphis team come together?
Well, me and a few guys, we still communicate, guys that played on the past teams, and we always just throw a team together, just to get into TBT. But this year, with me retiring from playing basketball and really getting on the coaching side, I really wanted to put a team together for this year TBT that can compete to win it all. And so, I sat down with my GM and one of my assistant coaches, and we got some of the best names that we could get that's available. And we reached out to them and told them who we had and who was on board, and everybody they came on board, and hopefully we can compete to win it this year.
And this roster can compete. I mean, like all Memphis teams, and you speak to this yourself, being one of those people, Memphis always has quality guards. And a backcourt of Martin, Lomax, Cleveland, Crawford. I mean, we start with that. Like, how excited are you as a coach to have that many great ball handlers and scorers on your roster?
It's very exciting. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we have younger guys and we have older guys. We have Alex Lomax, who just finished up.
Just finished up. So he have young legs, and have guys like Jeremiah Martin, pretty good ball handler, great shooter. Chris Crawford, same great shooter, ball handler. Can't forget about Adonis Thomas. He's going to be playing as well. Absolutely.
So we have a great core of guys that that's really all Memphis love.
Yeah. Now, how fast you guys? You're going to be a kind of a smaller team, so a lot of your strength is obviously at the guards. Even though Tyler Stone is obviously an incredible player as well. Are Will and Sean going to be able to keep up with these guards at this point?
I would hope so. Actually, to be honest, Will might be in shape better than anybody on the roster.
He's pretty jacked.
Yeah, we'll work out every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So I know Will is in great shape. I know Tag, he's coaching high school right now. So I'm pretty sure he run up and down with his guys, but we got a lot of young guys that's going to be on their team, and hopefully our older guys can keep up with them.
Now, this has been your, I believe, first year coaching high school. How's that been so far?
I've been at the collegiate level the last couple of years, and this year being at the high school level, it's still basketball, and I'm doing what I love to do, and right now being in charge and being the head coach has been amazing so far. I have some pretty good guys at Whitehaven, and I'm very excited for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, you're a great story. A local guy made good, well respected and well liked in the 901. So obviously, it's great that you're leading these young men. So it's a fantastic choice the school has made to have you as a coach. So I'm really excited about that too. So a little bit about this, like, how do you want to play with these guys though? Because since you have so much speed, is this going to be a team that's going to be fast breaking a lot?
Oh yeah, that's the goal. With basketball nowadays, it's like this. You got to get up and down that floor. You know what I'm saying? And so we got some guys that can get up and down the floor, man, can shoot the ball really well, and also play defense. It's about defense. I tell my guys all the time, offense win basketball games, defense win championships. So, we're going to be kind of small, but at the same time, I think we got guys that can truly lock down on defense.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Martin, we talk about this off camera, is made for this event. I mean, a lot of these guys, yourself, Adonis, Crawford, are great players. You've done this, but I think Martin will be a really nice little addition to this team. I mean, I think his isolation skills will be really, really great in this. Talking a little bit about this, you can clear this up too, because I was under a misconception. We were talking about this off this camera, and I have been, I'm sure you don't watch the show, but I have been bitching for like the last 2 weeks about Memphis not being in Louisville, because Memphis and Louisville are arch rivals, historic rivals. Back even they were in conference. You remember playing Louisville, obviously. And apparently, you guys actually chose not to go to Louisville. That was on you guys, correct?
Yeah. So
I'm so embarrassed now. I've been bitching about it for a week.
Here's the story. Here's the
hit
story.
me.
So in the beginning, of course, Louisville is closer to us, and so
and a historic rival.
Exactly, and so we thought we was gonna go to Louisville, but then once we found out Kansas is gonna be in Wichita, so some of us like me,
Revenge.
I'm still upset about that, and so I'm like, we need to go to Wichita because we might get a chance to play some of those guys at Kansas, and so we said we'll go to Wichita. So we say we're going to Wichita, but then we find out it's two different regions in Wichita. And so we was thinking they was going to put us in the Kansas region, but they put us in the Wichita State region. And so we was just like, hey, they told us the teams and we was just like, hey, we'll just go there. We was trying to get close to Kansas. That's what we was really trying to do.
That makes a lot more sense
right there.
That makes a lot more sense. And actually, it's funny. So I was complaining about this. So I'm like, look, the biggest rivals in Memphis are Louisville and Cincy. They're both in this. Why are they playing either one? But yeah, Kansas also is, for you and me especially, there's a deep and abiding hatred for them at this point.
Yeah. So that's the story. So now you understand.
Now it makes sense. I've been complaining about this. So I literally have to apologize to TV. I have to eat this hat probably. I've been bitching about it for like weeks. Okay, so let's talk about the road you guys had. I'm looking at the program now. We don't have it up, but you remember this. So you're a 4 seed playing the Broad Street Birds, which is the Temple alum, and then the Aftershocks, if you can get past them in the second round. Did you watch the TBT last year, first of all?
Yeah.
Did you see that the Aftershocks guy literally tackled that guy in the last play to win that one game? Like
I think I remember, but I remember the Aftershocks. They have some of the best fans.
They have a great fans,
and so that was a big part of it too. We was like, then we're going to Wichita. We're gonna have to play their fans and also the players. So, but we was like, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna go there and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun regional. I wish that I was going. I mean, there's a lot of fun here. So, like, let's say you beat Temple. First of all, Temple is currently a conference mate of Memphis, so they're not really a rival, but they're a friendly competitor. And Wichita State's the same thing. In fact, one thing that's a deep cut that most Memphis fans know is Alex Lomax was originally a Wichita State commit prior to Penny being hired, and Greg Marshall, in a very magnanimous move, just released him from a scholarship and let him go to Memphis, which I thought was very classy. And if you can get through all that, you likely get Team Arkansas, who's across the border. Obviously, the Razorbacks won't play Memphis anymore because I think they're scared. So there's a lot of revenge. So you can literally play Temple, Wichita, Arkansas, and Kansas and just roll them all out. It could be a complete revenge tour, actually.
We need it and we want it. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're gonna take it one game at a time. We strictly focusing on Temple right now. So we gotta, do our research on them, do a little bit of scouting. But like I said, we're taking it one game at a time. If we can get Temple, then we'll focus on that next game. But we got to get the first game.
One game at a time. Now, you guys talked about, obviously, there's still roster spots. This show, actually, we're taping now before the deadline. So the roster will be finalized by the time people actually see this, because we're going to tape the preview a little after what we're talking about. But let's look into the future. By the time people see this, the roster will probably be slightly different. What are you looking to add? Not names, but what attributes do you want to add to the roster?
Right now, we're looking for probably another wing player and a big man, and so the roster, the deadline is July 1st. So I think you have, what is it, like 4 days or so?
Yeah.
If that. And so, I'm pretty sure we're gonna we've been in communicating with a couple players, and hopefully we can get them locked in by July 1st.
That sounds great. Well, I can't wait to see this. It's funny. The reason I got into TBT was Memphis had a team. I'm like, what is this? And then ever since I've been hooked. So, I mean, the podcast is about TBT, but it has obviously Memphis roots due to who runs it. So this is really exciting. So Willie, one last thing, I'll let you go. So you got stuff to do. And obviously, it's a nice night out there. Oh, by the way, it's your power on. Obviously,
Yeah,
your power's okay.
We had a bad storm last night.
Yeah.
Some parts of Memphis power are still off. I'm actually in Germantown, and so I actually have power right now.
Yeah, my brother's in Cordova. He's actually got a dark house. He's just hanging out.
Yes.
So no lights in Cordova. They're at my parents' place in Lakeland. But yeah, they're not no air right now for them. They're sweating right now. So one last thing for the people in Memphis who might be watching this. Why do Memphis fans need to get behind this team? And B is obviously you being a part of it's a big deal, but why do Memphis fans need to get behind this team?
I mean, it's not just about me. You know what I'm saying? You have some Tiger greats that's on this team, and some players that really do bleed blue. I mean, guys, Adonis, Chris, Alo, Will, Tag. I mean, you have guys like that, man, and those guys really put in a lot of work here at University of Memphis. And like I said, we need all Tiger Nation behind us, because it's 6 games. It's just like we at the NCAA tournament. We got to win one game to move on. So I mean, we just gonna take it, like I said earlier, one game at a time. And we know Tiger Nation is gonna be watching us, and we're gonna do whatever we can to compete and try to bring this $1 million back to the city of Memphis.
That'd be a great place to put it. The city of Memphis could definitely use $1 million. I'm sure you could use your cut of it too. We all could. All right, Willie Kemp, GM and head coach of the Beale Street Boys. Thanks for coming on, Billy.
Hey, no problem, man. I hope to see you here in Memphis pretty soon.
Hope you enjoyed listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hainer. Subscribe to YouTube, follow on Twitter, and give us your money.